Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Talent. We back in the building. Well, you in the building. Me, I'm in the hotel room doing this via satellite. Motivation Mondays. Want to welcome everybody out to another hour where we try to, keep people motivated. More importantly, address the elephants in the room of motivation. How do we stay positive? How do we make these things work, on behalf of all of us? So I got a bunch of friends or guests coming in this show this hour, and we're going to chop it up. My topic today is very simple, very, very general, very broad, but very simple. And we're going to hit on some of them bullet points and everything as we go forward. I like to start this hour off the same way all the time by saying, how was your weekend? Did you have something happen this weekend? Did you do something right or correct that puts you in the mood or the spirits, that, going forward that became contagious, day by day. So if you had a great Thursday, some people start their weekend on Thursday, by the way. So if you had a great Thursday that trickled into a good feeling Friday, that trickled into a super Saturday and a special Sunday, and then boom, a motivated Monday. So ask yourself that. It's rhetorical to me, but it's not rhetorical to you. It's a real thing. It's a real deal, Holyfield, how you feel about that. Like me, myself, I was just talking to some folks, and I said it this morning on an early show, how, I got 5 dogs, and I had lost one of my dogs 6 weeks ago, and it was, it's never a good feeling. It's like not being able to know where your kid is or see your kid or take care of your kid when you want to. And, one thing led to another thing, all good circumstances. In the grace of God, my dog is back home as of Friday. So that put me in this astronomically super good mood that trickled over to Saturday. And then I kept it moving. I hung out with one of my guests you're going to get to meet today on the show. Went to support him in his show. My show was postponed, and his show made me feel even better. Then I got up Sunday. And then, I took it easy, watched some good football games and had some great food and, just good conversations. And the vibes are just great. Doing my show, Sunday Stories with Rocco Stowe was awesome. Like everything was just good. You know what I mean? And then even got to the point where just got back online and went live late last night into the wee hours to about right before 3:00 with some Twitter After Dark, playing music like I do, some of the feel good music and all that. So that's where I'm at with it. So what it made me think of was the little things. The little things. When we want to stay motivated, it's the little things that keep us motivated, people. Something simple like counting your blessings. We've all heard this expression over and over again. Yo, count your blessings. Yo, you better count your blessings. And you hear something so much, you will lose the power in it. You will lose the umph in it and just think it's just another phrase. But no, that's some real shit. Think about it. People take too much for granted. Don't get me wrong. In this climate that we're in right now, which is probably those of us who are middle-aged, this is probably one of the worst climates we've ever seen in our lifetime. So it gives you every reason you need. Every reason. You have every reason to throw it all away, smack it against the wall, say, fuck it, I'm done with this. Give up. I wouldn't even blame anybody because you have everything lined up and stacked up, the perfect storm to quit whatever it is you're doing. But the fact that you didn't mean that there's some blessings there. Something simple. When you wake up in the morning, it's a blessing. People don't count. Anything, situation you are could be worse. Got to count your blessings. This is real shit. So I'm going to start with my first 2 guests to kick this show off and this topic we're going to roll on. Bring in my 2 guests. This is my good friend Amir Silly and comedian extraordinaire John Phillips in the building. John, what's good? Amir, what's up?
What's up? What's up, y'all?
Man?
Ain't nothing, man. Both of y'all do me a favor. If y'all using your phone, turn it sideways so your screen take up more space.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Make it look like y'all on TV. Act like you've been there, you sons of bitches. John, I love that shirt.
Thanks, man.
And John got my favorite shirt on. Fuck cancer. I know that's right. So welcome to the show, guys. This is Motivation Mondays on WEMS Radio. And what I'm talking, I know you heard me in the backstage of the studio starting things off. It's something that simple that could be the most motivating thing of your week. What we try to do on Mondays is give people that jumps, because in America, Monday is usually the start of the week, right? On the calendar, in the English calendar here in America. So what we try to do is we coming off the weekend. How do I, because like I know, with 3 black men, on the damn thing right now. We look for any excuse not to do shit. Why you ain't do it? Man, it's Monday, yo. Right? It's Monday, man. Ain't nobody doing shit on Monday. Then you got then you get to Friday. Man, it's Friday. I ain't doing shit. So you mean to tell me we've been paying you for 7 days and you working 3?
Yo.
you know what I mean? So my biggest thing was like an epiphany last night where I was feeling really good, playing the music, sipping corn liquor. Don't judge me.
Gotcha. Yo, never again.
That's a whole nother story, John. We're trying to motivate people, not shut them down.
My bad.
So I'm drinking corn. I'm feeling good. I'm playing the music. And it just came over me and I wrote it down and said, T, this is what you need to talk about tomorrow. Counting your blessing. Because I felt really good and blessed. And I'm like, yo, why do I feel good in a pandemic, in a racially tense climate, in a economically struggling climate? You know what I mean? A nail-biting election year. Yeah. We know somebody gonna steal something, right? We know something bad gonna happen on top with all these bad things going on. And I'm like, yo, I still feel good. And I said to myself, that's only because I'm blessed. Are you guys, let me put this question to you and Amir first. Are you guys the type of guys that can you be man enough to admit, yo, I take XYZ for granted? You know, I look over this blessing, you know, it could be worse. Even though it's bad, it could be this. I don't like this, but it could be that. Amir, how you feel about that?
You know what? T, you make a valid point with that. The fun thing is, in this particular case, it's funny that you even put it in, in that perspective. This weekend, like you said, talking about getting yourself in the right mind frame, right mindset and energy to get you straight. I'm a big music guy like you. So yesterday, or every Sunday, D Nice and Clark Kent do a thing where they go back and forth. They call it Sunday school. So they playing all this really great old school music, whatever. But yesterday they had a house set that they were going back and forth between the two of them. I was in here dancing like as if it was 88 again. I had a ripped up jeans. I had baby doll in my back pocket and a rag and all of that. And it put me in such a good, space that, from that point, I just didn't, like you said, it spiraled into everything else. I got a chance to see and speak to my grandson. I got a beautiful new granddaughter, during this whole pandemic thing. So I'm like, so for me, I'm just like that. I try to look for all of the small things that I think are incredible. And I say to myself, that only leads to bigger things. I think to your point, one of the real caveats for us as, as men and women is we got to stop thinking everything happens in some big scale. It happens just by tiny little things that you put together.
Right.
By the time you step back and you look at it, it's one big thing. But it just started with one small thing. And I wish or I hope that more people are in this time frame and what's going on in the world starting to understand how powerful and impactful that could really be.
It's funny you bring that up because I got DJ Barry B that's going to come in soon. But John, same question to you, bro. Do you have anything that comes to mind that you say, you know what, I was taking XYZ for granted or looking over this as a blessing or not, and it truly is a blessing?
I would just say I used to complain about everything, like be angry.
Right.
And like I want to say within this pandemic, I just wake up, I just pray every day. I'm like, yo, thank you. First thing I say is thank you. And I'm like, yo, the less I complain, the better I feel inside.
Right.
And it motivates me to do other things. Like once you feel good about yourself, remember you saying people like, oh, I don't feel like doing this today and doing that today. It's because you get laxity and you don't want to do anything. You get used to not want to do this. I'm gonna just sit right here and do right there. So when I get a chance to do Zoom shows or whatever, or do a show, a comedy show, that makes me feel good. That makes me feel good and motivated. And I'm blessed to be able to go up there and do that. We see a lot of stuff on CNN or people not making it to see another day. You get another day to fix what was wrong yesterday.
Yeah, that makes sense. First of all, it's a big man of you to point that out about yourself, that, hey, I just complain about everything. Because a lot of people who do that don't admit to that. It's funny because what was I watching last night? There's a new show out on HBO called The Undoing with Nicole Kidman, right? And it's really like these kind of bougie, rich, upper class people that, you know, they're stuck in their way, used to a certain thing, whatever the case may be. And Nicole Kidman's character, she's a therapist, like she's a psychologist or a psychiatrist or whatever. And she's talking to one of her patients, one of her clients one time. And the lady was like, said something to her like, you know, what is your take? Like, you ain't saying that. What's your take? And when she said, I don't really want to say that because you're going to take a certain way. She was like, no, tell me. So when she broke herself down, she broke the lady down to herself. And what she said to her was, she said, you kill me because you're the type of person that do so much due diligence on anything that come in your life. She said, I'm sure you fucking did a background check on me before you started coming here doing therapy with me. She said, you want this, you go through Yelp for 12 pages, you know, for a hotel or a restaurant you want to eat at, blah, blah, blah. In other words, you do background checks on everything you bring into your life except the men. She said, as soon as a man is interested in you, attracted to you, or like you, you ready to get married to him, right? She said, you ready to marry? You on your third marriage because soon as a motherfucker give you the light of day, you ain't check shit about him. But you know everything that's going into this shrimp combination you ordered from City Island. You found out what water, what reservoir the lobster tail came out of, all of this shit. But you ain't checked this dude driver license once. She said, and that's your problem with your emotional part of your life. You know what I mean? I want to bring one more guest in. Bring my man DJ Barry B in here to join into this conversation. Barry, what's good, brother?
Peace and blessings, my brothers. How y'all feeling?
Listen, ain't nobody buying no bean pies, bro. Don't come in with that shit.
Uplifting people.
Came in here with that.
Uplifting.
Listen, the show is about blessings. I came here to just, hey, bring blessings, man.
Hey, Barry, turn your phone sideways so you can take up more screen.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Now, first of all, ain't nobody buying no bean pies. You come in here with this Muhammad shit. I said DJ Barry B.
Yeah.
I didn't say give it up
I'm
for.
ready though, just in case, just so you know, I'm ready.
I didn't say give it up for Islam's finest. Come here with that shit, son. We try to keep it 100.
Look, just take all these blessings, brother. Look, man. Peace to John Phillips.
No,
How you, brother?
Thank you, brother.
And
Hey, T, real
Amir
fast.
is my family, man. I'm
Yeah,
happy.
Amir's spam. You know how that go. Hey, so listen to the conversation because I'm gonna come to you in a minute. I want to read this thing. So this is a carryover of my in the early part of the day. I do Motivation Monday on live. So I'm on my lives today, and it's the same thing. This the springboard. This 12 noon of counting my blessings. And I said, you never know the little things in life and the effect of other people, right? So one of my regulars, after that show, went out about her day, get some food or whatever she was doing. She hit me in the inbox with this story. And I ain't gonna lie, I teared up when I read the shit. She was crying, made me cry because sometimes I talk about things and it seems like I'm just talking, right? Until it's not just talk and you go through it in your lifetime. So she hits this message at 4:08 p.m. and say, hey, T, I had to just tell you what I just experienced. I was at Church's Chicken and a guy came up to me and asked, now mind you, she's in Detroit. So a guy came up to me and asked if he could work for me to give him some money because he wants some food. So she was like, well, you can't work for me. So I just gave him some money to buy him some food and was just talking to him. He told me that I had a good heart and it was a blessing to him by me just talking to him because he's homeless and people don't talk to him. People look down on him and frown upon them, you know, and just me talking to him and treating him like a human being was a blessing to him today because how people treat him, you know. And she was like, well, I don't look down on anybody because anyone could be in this position. You know, I just felt like God, maybe he has sent me by your way to do this for you. He actually started to cry. The homeless guy started to cry, which in turn made her cry, you know, and she said it was just a special moment that all she could think of was Motivation Monday this morning, listening to me on the live with the counting the blessings, because you never know with somebody. You know, my reply was like, well, you're damn right. You just made me cry, right? So the point being is we always do this, man. I mean, I'm guilty of, nobody is above it. And I was asking John, and I asked him, and I'm gonna put it to you, Barry, now. Is there anything you can think of in retro, in hindsight, that things you may have taken for granted or blessings you may have looked past like it's owed to you, like whatever?
Let me tell you, of course, I don't know if you touched on this, but in the midst of this entire pandemic, we are extremely blessed just to be still for a minute. Yeah, people don't realize how powerful it is to be still and really count your blessings, because we take so many things for granted every day. So I'm talking about allowing me to be still. I'm able to do more things with my life because everything, when we were out and about, everything is busy. We run in here, we have so much to do.
True.
But when you remain still and really focus, it helps you focus on what your true calling may be or what your blessings are, that you can't take every little thing for granted. I'm talking about, I'm seeing, I'm cleaning things I haven't cleaned before, just looking at my own inventory, things in my life, your house, really building up and really focusing forward on what was I really doing before that was so important, where I really wasn't taking care of XYZ, which should be priority. I'm telling you, this moment is, in the midst of everybody passing and getting sick, is still there are blessings here that we have to recognize, so there's so many things, T brothers. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but
No,
you're gonna keep trying to sell these bean pies, ain't you? Let me tell you something. You're not gonna get me. First of all, I'm allergic to that kind of bean. No, but I all jokes aside, you hit the nail on the head. Because you're right, with the midst of this pandemic, and this is, just me doing a motivational Monday show, not once, but twice every Monday. Just me doing that every week for God knows how many months we've been locked up, right?
Yes.
It's all this is coming to fruition. Like you said, something that's very funny. It's like I look at my office, and this office been in shambles by God knows how many years, right? I mean, it's just room enough for me to get in there and do a thing or two, but it ain't an office as it should be. You wouldn't even know. It's a bookshelf back there. It's this, that, there's a fireplace in my office. I just found that out cleaning up the other day. I said, oh my God.
Wow.
I'm trying to figure out where these skunks and muskrats are coming from. I got a fireplace in the office. But you're right. You get to doing things that, because in the midst of running, I'll get to it.
Yeah.
So now I have days where like some I take for granted is like let's say merchandise, right? And John knows, all this, it's just comedy gear and merchandising and stuff. I would just get it like a drug dealer or a drug buyer. You know how you just get enough to get by in that time? That's lazy business.
Right.
That's lazy business. Like, I'm gonna be in Florida this week at the Improv for 6 shows on the 25th. You know what? Let me put an order in now. Ship them out there, so I got them for the weekend. Why you don't have a stock? Why you don't have them where you just got to grab them and pack them like you pack your clothes?
That would be
for
like
the record. I still have my original It's Just Comedy Talent softball shirt that I've been asking for an upgrade for from 90 because you didn't have any more shirts. So thank God your inventory is up, brother. I've been needing this.
You know what's funny, Mary? You say that
look at God.
Young lady that I'm dealing with just said, you ain't gonna believe this shit. I was cleaning up and seen an old It's Just Comedy show from 92. I said, well, that's good. You found a good shirt. She said, nigga, I ain't meet you till 93. How's that possible?
Oh, that's crazy. AT, but your analogy is like, that's like a person living in a house, right? And he only buy 1 or 2 rolls of paper towels instead of buying a whole bulk of them. You think I'm saying? It's like that. That's when they come lazy. Like, we was moving so fast, or things was going on. God said, let me slow this down for y'all.
That's right.
Down and make you think, and you more mature, you more thankful for life.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for everything.
Now here's one of my blessings, and then I'm gonna pass it to you, Amir. One of my blessings that I look at is a lot of comics, because of my tenure in the game and my knowledge in the game, they think they're blessed to be around me to pick up some jewels and learn things to be a better comic, right? And it goes both ways. I'm blessed to have disciples, if you will, and comrades in this thing that I can give those lessons and jewels to that actually apply them. Dude, I feel you know how many I could talk to a dozen comics, give a dozen jewels. 2 of them use them. The 10 of them, I'll see them in 2 weeks. They ain't put shit to work. They still horrible people, right?
Wow.
The 2 people listen, like John will tell you, I went to see John. My shows got postponed for Saturday, so I'm an hour away from where John had a show. And I was like, yo, John, send me the address. We're going to come support you. We're going to watch your show. And I'm glad I did because it put me in such a great spirit. And not just that, I mean, don't get me wrong. John been ripping since I met him, but to see the growth in the ripping. Like he did something on stage. I told him as soon as he got up, I said, I need you to know that what you did, whether you know it or not, was what we call comic genius. You took a very sensitive part of your set that could have been the killer and people turned against you, and you did something to it which disarmed them where they couldn't come against you, and it made it funny and gave you the right to say whatever the hell it is you want to say about it. So moments like that, you may take for granted. It's easy to take for granted, but now I don't. I'm always counting those blessings as well. Amir?
You know, is again to the point that you just made, I feel the same way because in this slowdown, as Barry pointed out and as John pointed out, and as you know, I've been able to, kind of corral things that have been going on in my head. Your ability to talk to people, you or whatever your blessings are. Sometimes we really do take those for granted, not because we don't know any better, but it's just because in your heart of all hearts, sometimes some of the things that you do, that's just who you are. It doesn't have anything to do with you trying to, impart it on the world. It's just a part of your makeup, part of your DNA. But it's interesting when it goes to a broader spectrum, how other people then internalize it, and then come back to you and go, you know what? I never paid attention to this about you, but now that I've seen it, in this light, that's a whole, I see you in a whole different light and I appreciate it. So I think, to that point, I think all of us have been blessed with, being able to find and broaden, our base in terms of people who then follow us, people who then understand or are along with us on the journeys that we're on, and bigger than that, just knowing that the little bit that you're doing is having some sort of positive effect on people. And I think that that's all you can really ask for. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
that's an excellent take on that. So let's switch to something Amir said at the top of the show, because Amir, and thank you in advance. What Amir does is, Amir's like me. We love music, right? We're children of fans of music at the highest power level of that. So Barry, we come together collectively. First of all, say thank you for doing what you're doing during the pandemic, because you're on your own radio show now. You do it. Is it weekdays?
It's I have the Monday night slot. Normally for 108 Soul, they have different club DJs every weeknight. They just starting tonight. Actually, this is perfect. We start at 8 o'clock tonight. They moved us up because they realized the demand for us to move up from 8 to 10 as opposed to 10 to midnight is much greater. So starting tonight, 8 o'clock on 108soul.com, owned by us to bring it to the people.
Right.
As you know, deep roots, deep history. The soul, it's dubbed as the soul of New York, but we broadcast all over, up to 200,000 listeners. So the pandemic, I'm thankful, and I should have said this to begin. Thanks to you, Amir, and Brother John, just being here in this moment, having me. I really appreciate that.
Well, you always been a stand-up guy, man. You know that. What was your original time slot?
10 to midnight Eastern Standard.
Now they moved you up to what?
Starting tonight, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m.
That's prime time, baby. You're going to sell way more bean pies now. Them bean pies going to fly off the 8 o'clock. People get hungry.
Man, I just got all my vegan products. I'm ready to mix it up before the show. Nice. It's serious business over here. Serious business.
I was about to say, you went vegan?
Man, you see these cheeks? These big
Pause.
Yeah.
Pause. You can't say, did I see these cheeks? Pause. No homo. Did I see these cheeks?
Half vegan. You see. Let me just stick to the music. I knew I was gonna walk into something just for being real, but it's all good. I love it anyway. But
No, really, all jokes aside, you've always been a stand-up dude. That's why me and your friendship has stood the test of time.
No doubt.
Even in trials and tribulations. I want to say that there's something. Let's deal with that real quick. Friendship, right?
Yeah.
Friendship and camaraderie.
Yes.
That's a blessing in itself that people walk and look over every day.
Who knew we would be here at this moment? I have you. Look at the connection between you and Amir. And like I said, Amir is my family outside of this format. And I feel the spirit of Brother John. I don't mean to get all churchy and everything, but John, I could tell is a good brother. He wouldn't be here if he wasn't. But just the evolution leading into this state and time that we're at. I mean, you knew me from promotion days. Amir knows me from another arena, from sports, and when I was just trying to be the neighborhood rap guy. So just the evolution of me now to DJing and spinning, which I've always done behind the scenes, as you know, from promotion into this.
Right.
Look at it. And bringing 200,000 listeners on 108 Soul, we're blessed, man.
Yo, you keep doing what the hell you're doing, brother. Let me tell you something. All of us guys on here are doing our thing. John's the only one that look like he's in an airplane cockpit or air traffic control. That's when you got a flip phone. You got to put those on. You know, you can't just talk into the phone.
I can't find the little joints, man. I can't find these are my airport earphones. Man.
You got those are earbuds that come with the keloids.
Yo. Yeah.
But yeah, all jokes aside, that's a blessing, counting blessings, because we hear that expression all the time. Here's my thing. It took me over, next year is my 30th anniversary of comedy. The year after that's my 30th anniversary of the slogan, "It's just comedy." So it took me more than half of that time to look back and count the blessings of my family. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate them for everything else, but their part in my career, in my movement. You know, I couldn't have gotten where I am. I couldn't have done all the things that I've done to get to the level that I am if my family didn't believe in me.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because when I took that leap of faith, and everybody has their own story of what happened in my life. My leap of faith was with my first son, my first oldest son. Talent was in the belly. He was 4.5 months in the belly. So I mean, he was going to be here in 4 months. And I was leaving stability, jumping from the ship of stability to the unknown. You know, I'm this young dude in his 20s. I'm making $50,000, which is like $1 million back then. So I'm making $1 million. I got 401k. I didn't even know what 401k was. I wrote down 401k. I wrote 401k-A-Y. I got 401k.
No, that's real talk.
You know what I mean? And I took a leap of faith, and it was, it was meant to be by the way things played out from year 1 on to year 30. But that was one of my overlooking of counting blessings, and that was the biggest one.
You left that job?
Well, you could kind of say I got left. It was
if I got fired, is that like taking a leap of faith?
Well, when they fired you, did you say "fuck y'all"?
No,
that's not a leap of faith.
No, because they said you discharged. I didn't know what discharge was.
You got, hey John, when you get fired, you got to leave real funky with it. You know what I mean? Like you meant to do that shit. They be like, "Well, we don't need you no more." Fuck y'all.
Oh no, I ain't go out like that.
No, you was kind of crying. You was crying a little bit.
I asked him what discharge was. He said we gotta let you go. So I left. I said let the union rep talk. So maybe they'll bring me back.
I remember I was at one job, they tried to do that shit to me, and me being the clown that I am, whoever said, "Hey man, we called you in here because we gotta let you go." And I start walking out. I said, "Okay, I'll see you tomorrow." The dude was like, No. He was all confused as shit because he was trying to fire me. And I was like, "I'll see you tomorrow, same time." No. You don't understand. But anyway, I just wanted to say that because I didn't want to take for granted friendships. And Barry, you on tonight? Shout it out one more time so that when we get off here, me and Amir love our music, bro.
Come on now. Hey, everybody tune in. 108soul.com. You can download the app. Go to your Apple store, your Google Assistant. You can even command your Amazon, your Alexa to do whatever it needs to do, and it'll plug in. Or check the website directly, 108soul.com. But
Thank
I'm
you,
on
my
every
brother.
Monday, and I play a mix of everything. I take it back to our era. I take it back to grandma's era, auntie. I just do a mix of everything. What I call it is having fun on a Monday.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Salute you. Stopping by,
Salute.
King. I'll see you tomorrow with the hoodie.
Okay, for sure. Appreciate y'all. Y'all be
Thank
blessed.
you.
No
Ladies
doubt.
and gentlemen,
Peace.
DJ
Love
Barry
again.
B.
No doubt.
DJ Barry B in the building.
Peace,
Thank you
John.
very much.
Amir. Love.
Appreciate
Next
that.
time, I appreciate you.
You got it. John Phillips don't go nowhere. Amir don't go nowhere. As I bring back, I want to switch to another guest coming in here. This young queen makes me proud every day to be a part of her function. Every Saturday night. First of all, she's a super producer. She's an entertainment manager. She's a casting director. She's a booker. She does everything. And manage some of the top comedians in the game. She's on the West Coast, different time zone right now. But we got her, the producer of Girls Night In every Saturday night, Twyla Johnson. What up, sugar?
Hey.
Oh, she came correct. Look at her shirt.
All right.
Look at it. Hey, Twyla. What up, boo?
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm
Turn
good.
your
How's
phone to the
everybody?
good.
yeah.
Turn your phone
Wonderful.
sideways so you can take up the screen. You too beautiful to be slim like that. Use the whole screen. Turn it sideways. You on the computer? Or she might be on the computer.
No, because you sent it to my phone, so I thought I had to.
Oh no, you can use the phone. Just make sure you're on your Wi-Fi so you're not breaking up, and turn it sideways. There you go. There you go. First of all, welcome to the show. Now, John Phillips, yeah, you good. John, I don't know if you met Twyla and Amir.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, no doubt, man. We're talking about counting blessings.
There we go. Yes.
There you go. What's your what's the I got two things. One two-part question for you. What is the best thing in this pandemic and what's the worst thing? Well, the best is Girls Night In. I know you're gonna say that.
Well, yeah. The best is waking up every morning. Pending this pandemic. So I'm just gonna say my blessing is waking up every morning. And second is looking forward to Girls Night In every Saturday. But what I do miss is my live comedy shows that I do at the Federal once a month, Nothing But Funny. So make sure you guys follow Nothing But Funny. But yeah, I'm really missing that connection with you guys, and being live with the shows, and their venue is not available right now for entertainment. You can go there and pick up food and come and go by picking up food, but no entertainment. So that's
I know you missed that.
Worst part. I miss my shows. Yes, I do.
Yeah, I know that's right. And when you get a chance, when things open back up, like the Federal Building is a real sexy comedy spot. John Phillips, we'll take a trip to the West Coast. I need you to see John do his thing and tear that stage down as always. Tell me this, because we're talking about counting blessings. I think it's a major blessing that you came along with Girls Night In. I know it's so good that because I'm mad that I'm actually getting out working slowly but surely, and missing being the DJ and the only man commentator on the show. Amir, I'm sitting there with these women, Coco Brown, Trish Man Grant, Twyla Johnson. It's 3 sets of cleavage. I miss it.
Any given Saturday, any given Saturday, I got the cleavage. I got the cleavage working. I got the
cleavage right now.
On any given Saturday. Saturday, okay? On any given Saturday, I give them cleavage a little bit, But I didn't know I was gonna give my cleavage to all these men on the show. Okay, but hey, hey.
They can't see you though, but they can't see you.
Okay.
It's only me and you. They can't see you. They just laughing. They can hear us, but right now it's just us. So, And you wouldn't believe that
To the
until
green
John
light.
made that damn face just now. John can't keep a secret. He's a horrible wingman.
John
Sorry.
said she over here coming out with the flash dance over here, got the one shoulder on. I didn't know I was in it. I didn't know it was the only fans.
The only fan.
Only fans motivational Mondays. Okay. All right. I'm good.
So listen, a question for you, Twyla, real quick. What motivates you? Because I just said this at the top of the show. The stage is set. We are in the perfect storm for anybody to just give up and quit right now. I can't even blame anybody that gives up or quits or say fuck it because of how bad things are between the climate of being black in America, between the economic places that with all the unemployment, but between just the damn pandemic and COVID shutting things down. A lot of us lost relatives and friends. You have every right and reason to not do anything, but yet you still staying motivated.
Yeah, you have to. You have to, through all the negativity, you have to stay focused. We still have to be, even though what's going on, we cannot still be distracted of what, what, I mean, even though everything it's not normal, but your focus is normal. So, I say, you just got to stay focused, but you still have to stay in the know on what's going on in the world. But not that I'm just excluding, because I watch CNN all the time, so I stay up to date on what's going on. But I gotta stay focused, because that would have you all just caught up.
Yeah. This is true.
It really, yeah. It really would have you caught up. So I just try to stay focused, guys, and just continue. Like, I wasn't gonna let the pandemic stop me from doing Girls Night In. And when everyone was in agreement to, because we've shot this show live, so it's been shot live. But
Gotcha.
I was like, I don't, right when I wanted to start shooting live again, and which it would be just me, the host and the guest, but no live audience, just the host and the guest. When production slowed down, then it slowed that down. But I was like, if everybody's cool, I'm gonna get with Coco, I'm gonna get with Trish. Then I added you to the equation. If you guys was cool with doing it virtual and everybody gave it a thumbs up, I was like, okay, let's roll with it. So
let me tell you something.
We haven't missed a beat.
No, you haven't. Let me tell you something. From March to now, going, past that 8-month mark, and some people even going past the 9-month mark, I done, and John knows, we done a ton of Zoom stuff, right? And by far yours is the best. First of all, everybody's house is clean, the apartments is clean, and so when you sit on this Zoom, if you sit on this Zoom and you look behind people and they got clean walls and ain't messy, you don't mind being in that Zoom. For some reason, Zoom make you feel like you're really in people's house.
Yeah, I agree.
So so you always have great guests. You always have, the three queens hosting. Everything's just perfect put together. You talk about professionally ran, on time, and everything like that. I'm like, you know what? Usually some people are good at one thing, but not the other. Like, you're really good at your live shows. Like, when I do your live shows, it's never nothing off. Like, from the lighting to the sound to, if people got to get paid for it, to the time they're doing on stage, everything A to Z. I got to give you that. Hats off to you. And when you produce, your production is always, but then some people switch over to virtual land and it's a mess, or vice versa. Or the virtually is cool and live is a mess. How do you maintain both? How do you make sure that they're both so timely, omnipotent when it comes to production?
Well, because I don't know, I kind of function differently. So I'm kind of like I'm very much in order. So, when you stay in order, nothing should get off track. So I just try to stay in order. So now that I've learned how to Zoom stream our lives to Facebook Live, and then my YouTube page. So now that's another thing added to the equation. So I'm juggling all of this. I'm letting people in the room. I'm hosting the room. I'm letting folks in. I'm making sure we streaming to Facebook. I'm making sure we streaming to YouTube. So it's called the Renaissance Lady. That's what it's called.
It's called OCD. You have OCD, don't you?
I do. How you know?
Because you just moved your hair with one finger. You did like this. You move all that hair with one pinky, like that. Like people usually do like this with all the fingers. You took the cocaine pinky, you did, and did this to move your hair back out of your way. You have OCD. I pay attention to stuff.
Wow.
Look at Amir laughing because Amir sold a lot of cocaine in his day. So he knows. Amir, how many times they do this? When you sell somebody some cocaine, well, how much is the 8 ball? You know? I be talking a lot of shit. I don't even know what the 8 ball is. How much? Hey, how can I get it? I don't even know. If somebody gave me anything and said it was an 8 ball, I'd be like, I got 8.
Now I'm gonna take the point finger, okay?
Listen, I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at you. So tell us, who inspires Twyla Johnson, the producer, the casting director, the agent, the manager? What is your inspiration? Where do you draw it from? Who do you look up to and say, you know, these are my, because everybody got people, you know. I'm a comedian, but as a comedian, the first and foremost guy for me is Morgan Freeman. And it wasn't so much of whether comedy or drama, it was his tenure and his perseverance over time, how he went from Electric Company 57 million years ago to this iconic actor and staple in Hollywood. So he's my guy. Who's your people? You got that, Twyla?
Who's my? Okay, I would say that if I was to say someone that inspires me, which I have a few, but I'm just going to start off with Oprah really inspires me, just to hear people's stories of where they came to where they are now. And I feel like sometimes you really have to have a deep story in order to make it. Everyone that talks about their success, they have a story, they have a testimony, and it's like it's a crazy testimony that you like, wow, but look at you now, like Tyler Perry, he you look at him then, look at him now, so it's the same with Oprah. But I don't have like a deep testimony. So I hope that my success just takes me where it needs to be, because I just have to say, I don't have like this happened to me, and
no, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Out on the streets, and and this. It's just that,
Yo,
or I had
that's funny as hell.
Couches, in order, so, I hope that I don't have to tell a trauma story in order to make it. I hope that I just make it because I'm good at what I do.
I'm working on something I'm going to bring you in on, because I'm going to need help with production. I'm working on a documentary called The Fat Asses You Didn't Know, right? So, because the reason made me think of this is people don't know Oprah got a fat ass, right? So Whoopi Goldberg, fat ass. People don't know. People don't know Whoopi. Yo, Amir, Amir, you feel me on this?
No, don't co-sign this dude, man.
True story.
I knew a minute he said something, it was gonna go a whole different direction.
True story.
You know what? We'll talk, Twyla. You can't be serious on this show. They're haters, man. They haters. You know what I mean? Forget about it. So, okay. So you said you did Girls Night In, the live version, right? With an audience and stuff. Let me ask you this. So the first one you said was just you interviewing the guests.
Yes.
Okay. So how did you get to the point where you said, I'm going to trifecta this and get two more young ladies, some queens, and it's going to be 3 of us and do the damn thing?
Well, actually, I have to back that up, because I guess I didn't quite understand your question. It always started with the 3 queens. When I wanted to do the show, I chose Coco and Trish to do this with me.
So did they do the live version?
They did the live version. Yeah, we
Okay,
shot
nice.
it. We shot with actually Kiki Haynes was our first live guest. So we've had her on,
Right.
for the virtual show, but she was our actually first live guest when we wore pajamas. We interviewed her in her PJs. Yeah, because that was
Okay.
really it was like a really like a co-ed slumber party type of idea. Like, it wasn't just because the girls are just hanging in, but it's not just we want to interview women. No, we want to interview men and women. We just hanging in. And so instead of the girls going out to hang out with their, celebrity or entertainment, friends, they come in relaxed in their pajamas and we kick back. So it's like an adult slumber party. That's the idea. Shot live. So yeah,
Gotcha.
Kiki came on in her pajamas. We interviewed Shelia Cyphers, which is a well-known stylist. She's a hairstylist in the film industry. So during
Okay.
the time that we shot, Black Panther was really at its highest point, and she did all the hair design and cut all the hair. So she told us about working with um, everyone on the show. That was in the film, and what it was like to shave the ladies' heads off. And so we had a great live interview with the two of them when we first shot. So that's why I didn't want to sit on the idea, because I'm getting it edited. And so the 30 to 40-minute, clips that I post on social media should be enough to grab the attention of networks or any streaming, platform. So I'm open to both. So
Well,
that's
I
why.
know it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen in a major way for you, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening and watching Twyla Johnson. Go ahead, Twyla, and shout out all your social media. Shout out the show when it comes on, how to be involved, and all that good stuff, baby.
Saturdays we're doing this thing. In case we take off for a holiday, like we're not gonna do a show this coming because it's Halloween for this coming Saturday. But normally we are 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Girls Night In. The Zoom ID is on Girls Night In on IG. The Zoom ID is on the flyer. It's also you can register at the link. Girls Night In. Entertainment Manager is one of my IG links. Top of the World Management is another. Nothing But Funny is my comedy IG page. And then now we got the Girls Night In. So 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, along with my co-hosts Coco Brown, Trish Man Grant. Please follow them on IG. My DJ Talent, thank you so much for having me once again.
Oh yeah. You know me, I
Yeah,
love it. I love it. I
John,
love it.
yeah. So I appreciate you guys bringing me on. Look, he got his hand on his head like I'm just disgusted. Why?
John, funny style. Like don't mind John.
I was thinking this, but I didn't mean to show my face, because once you say my favorite DJ and then he get the ooh, all that.
Don't hate y'all. Don't hate y'all. I'm in the building, B. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Amir, John Phillips, let's all clap our hands
Yes,
for the lovely
yes.
Queen Twyla Johnson. Keep doing what you're doing. I'll see you after the holiday. Girls Night In. That's my girl, Twyla. Thank
Yes,
you, baby.
sir.
Appreciate you for being on the show.
Thank you so much, guys.
Boom.
Thank you for having me. It was a
You
pleasure.
got it. That's what I'm talking about right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Always.
It's Motivation Mondays, and I'm still here with John Phillips and Amir holding it down. That was our guest, Twyla Johnson, super producer, super casting agent, manager. I mean, she does it all in Hollywood, dude. John, you definitely, that's why I kept you on here, because that's a plug you need. That's your LA Hollywood plug. Is all good. All right, so let's get back to Motivation Monday. We were talking about counting our blessings and trying not to take a lot of stuff for granted. That to me, that's the big lesson that coronavirus, COVID-19, the pandemic, the quarantine and lockdown, that's what we learned. We learned, it shined a high beam on a ton of shit we've been taking for granted. Right, Amir?
No question. It's funny. You asked her a question that, in my head, it took hold, which was what motivates her to, do what she does. And I think, to your point about this being Motivational Monday, to me, there's so many different avenues and different venues and people who you can look to. I mean, obviously, if you're in a specific field, it's great to look up to the icons of your field. But I know for me personally, I get on Instagram, I get on Facebook, and those two, platforms in particular. And all I do all day is comb through and find inspirational moments for all kind of people through all walks of life. It could be music, it could be comedy, it could be acting. It doesn't make a difference as long as it's something that's motivational and I, watched it and then I, pick up nuggets from it. I go, wow, that's dope. I would have never even looked at it in that light or that perspective. Or it's great to hear them describe, a moment or something that they've gone through that you might have, have some similarities to, and you just wondering to yourself, well, what's my next move? Now you've heard somebody else go through it and you go, okay, I got it now. I got it. So I try to utilize as much information in all the platforms that we have to find those nuggets because it's a ton of them out there. Also YouTube. I take that back. Also YouTube, because it's all this wonderful information out there. You just got to look for it. To your point about tuning into positivity and and tuning into good things. And John, the same for you. Once you put yourself in that vibration, to me, it seems like that stuff starts coming to you even without you looking for it. You look up and you're like, oh my God, wait a minute, it's coming on me every way imaginable. And to me, that's what, this whole thing should be about, trying to find that energy, wave that you need to be on and allow all of the things that are on that wave to come your way,
So give me your top 3 blessings that came from this pandemic. Like, maybe unforeseen, you couldn't see it, but now 8 months down the line, looking back, you go, you know what? These top 3 things, because it's mostly bad overall, generally speaking, but there's some gems in it.
Top 3. Well, first and foremost, having the opportunity to get on quite a few IG lives with you. Prior to doing that, fear of speaking in public and doing certain things, but to get on IG live and to get the feedback from some of the people or a lot of the people who are on the different platforms, either saying I enjoy what you're saying and how you present things was incredible to me, because in your heart and in your mind you play things in your head and you're your own worst critic. So
yeah, that's
in
true.
your mind you think to yourself, I'm the stuff that I'm saying nobody's paying attention to and nobody cares. But then when you see other people outside of the people who already know you and know you to be that kind of person, it's like, oh my God, wow, this, is really positive. So, that's one. Obviously, secondly, I mentioned a little earlier, my eldest daughter had a girl. So I got a new granddaughter. And that was really, and especially in this pandemic, because of, all of the talk, especially, with everybody saying that everything was so deadly and scary. So I was concerned for both of them, obviously, because, who knew how this thing might have, played out. And then I think the last thing is having this slowdown and this time to really put life in perspective. And that goes back to a little bit of everything that all of you gentlemen have shared tonight in terms of cleaning up, in terms of getting your health together, in terms of just taking a moment to really be appreciative and be thankful for all of the wonderful little and big things that continue to happen on a regular basis. So I know for me, those are the things that I've taken.
And you got the coronavirus kid, your grandkid, he just had a coronavirus. You ain't gonna know what they look like till about 16 years old. You got a mask on all day, and God forbid they go missing. What do they look like? I don't know. Had a blue mask.
Man,
it's crazy.
What's wrong with this dude? What's wrong with him?
But this is why you love doing these things with talent.
I just knew something. Yo, it was so positive energy. I know.
The man said, "What he gonna say? What's wrong with me?" He got an argument the other night of the show because he talked about his retarded cousin, right? He talk about do that, and the lady get mad. And he go, "Lady, I said my fucking cousin, not yours." And I'm crazy.
Yeah, I told her to sit her miserable ass down because it wasn't about her. No, but that's during the pandemic. I started a business, got an LLC, and it was something I probably would have never had done and it just, man, I don't worry about no negative stuff no more, man. You can't touch me no negative. I don't care if it be in my face. Like I always think of something positive because that I guess it's like I said, the older I get, the more like I'm appreciative. I be around positive. I'm around y'all. I could just tune in. If I feel bad, I tune into something. It might be motivational, or it might be that the freak. What is it? The ladies' night? I'm sorry, freak night. The ladies' night that you do, the music. I don't know. Whatever. Whatever.
He said something wrong with me. He called him freak.
You know what I meant. You know what I meant. You just always you accept more positivity than you do negativity if you're a good-hearted person. You will
Right.
want that. You'll be like, oh, let me turn this on. Oh man, he said something that it could be the smallest thing. And that might have jump started what you needed to hear for your day. So
No, that's true. I mean, I just got an epiphany. That documentary I'm working on with Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah. The name, I'm gonna change the name. I got a better name. It's going to say Fat Asses. Who knew? That's a dope name, right?
Yeah.
Fat Asses. Then go, who knew? With the question mark.
Yeah. Look, just while you're on that, just for a quick second, did you see that verses with Tracy Ellis Ross and what's homeboy's married to the dude that used to be a model? She was in Soul Food and all that. Nicole Ari Parker. Y'all ain't see the verses with them?
No.
Shot with the two of them taking pictures of themselves, like they got the mirror picture and both showing it. Oh my God, y'all gotta find that. Lord have mercy.
She got a fat ass too?
What?
Like we knew Tracy Ellis Ross, everybody in Hollywood know that, but I didn't know the Michelle joint.
What you call it? Wife, the lady from Soul Food, the pretty light-skinned sister that was in Soul Food, Nicole Ari Parker or whatever. I forget what her name is now. She married the dude.
No, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Boris Kojo.
Yeah, Boris Kojo's wife.
Who's married to Boris Kojo. Here's my thing though. Don't you feel sad for a girl got a fat ass but nothing else in life going on?
Yeah.
That's sad. That's sad.
Yeah. You know it's so crazy. It's funny. When you do these lives, I swear, talent. All this,
this shit go in the mirror. You ain't no better because you like, yeah.
You know why? But you know why this stuff goes left so quickly? Because
where did this go? Like I'm sitting here like, damn.
We're still in motivational money, but in all fairness, the fun thing about this, and I swear, I talk to talent about this off the air all the time. To your point, John, because I see you doing it too. This make you think of 1,000 dope things that you could do.
Yeah.
Under any other circumstance. You got to be honest with yourself.
I mean, let's be honest with one thing, right? It's Motivation Monday, but the job gets done. The job to come on here and motivate people. What we fail to realize, we could preach all day, we can make these bullet points, we could say X, Y, Z, whatever case may be, but if we don't sprinkle that laughter in there, if we don't play around and do dumb shit like that, like what we just talking about, laughter is, you'd be surprised how motivating. I remember, and this is a true story, I remember working in St. Louis, this comedy club during the weekend, and it was this one night, and it had to be you do 2 shows, John, on Friday and Saturday, so it had to be after I finished the first set on Saturday. This group, it was a table of like 5 or 6 white women, came over to me, and this lady, they brought I guess it was their aunt or whatever. So it was like, she wanted to meet you. Oh my gosh, she loves you. She never laughed this hard, whatever. So the lady had real tears. So I'm laughing and smiling like, yeah, I made you laugh, like feeling good in that essence. But when she got to talking to me and explaining why she's crying and how the laughter, the lady was dying in 6 months. She had 6 to 7 months to live, dude. So I go from the goofy, laughing, smile face to, as the story's going on, I'm like, oh my, but she's cheesing and laughing like, dude, you don't understand. I got diagnosed a year ago. I'm down to about 6, 7 months to live. There was nothing to fucking smile about since I've been diagnosed.
Wow.
I couldn't even tell. She said, and this what moved me. She said, I didn't think I knew how to laugh again.
Dang.
Wow.
Since she's been diagnosed, she hadn't even smiled, much less bust a gut and laugh. She said, yo, that 45, 50 minutes she was up there, man, that was everything. She said, I had to meet you. Never heard of you in my life. The girls dragged me out. They knew you, whatever, but my nieces or whatever. She said, oh my God, but you got to understand the joy you just brought. Bruh, I wasn't right for 45 days at least. That sat with me like a heavy weight, like you ate something bad and it sit with you. It's like a weight you carrying around. And I didn't know how to feel because I've never encountered that. That was my first time. This had to be, I don't know, 2000, 2001 time. And like, I've gotten all the compliments in the world, all the this, that, and the third, but I didn't know how to process that.
Yeah. Wow.
So I say all that to say, we handled our business. You know what I mean? We got the serious stuff out there. We got the information out there. Well, you sprinkle the goofy shit in between because the goofy glue is what people are going to walk away with and be inspired and remember. You know what I mean? Because believe it or not, man, a lot of preaching falls by the wayside. We could preach the gospel and tell all the positive shit we want. A lot of that shit falls by the wayside. Needs to be pulled back up, needs to be regurgitated, you know, told another way. That's why we're not telling anything that ain't been told before. Right. We're telling it in a different way, in our way, in form and fashion, but it's been told before. You know what I mean? And I couldn't do it tonight without you guys. So I thank you, John, for giving me your time this hour here. Amir, hanging out the whole hour. I salute you guys. Thank y'all so much for coming by, man. These are my guys, Amir Stingley, John Phillips, man. We got to do this again.
Yes, yes.
Yo, well, good ass is motivation. Now
you want to jump back in on the fat ass.
No,
You'll never make the documentary, son. You cut. It's already casted. Producer, take him out of here. Get him out of here. Get John out of here. Get him. Thank you, Amir. Get these guys out of here so I can close out with the final word, please. Jesus. Thank you, Amir. Jesus Christ. Now he want to see my point. You know, I'm telling you, that's going to be the #1 selling documentary. Fat asses. Who knew? It's going to be dope. Anyway, all jokes aside, thank you guys for giving us an hour of your ear, hour of your vision, your time, and more importantly, your mental. Stay motivated. Remember what I tell you, man. Find that thing through the weekend because I guarantee you it's contagious and it carries over day to day. I don't care if you start your weekend on Thursday or Friday. You start on Thursday, Thirsty Thursday. Have a good time. Have a sip of something. Feel good. So you get ready for a fantastic Friday. Solution Saturday. You know what I mean? Something special Sunday. And then guaranteed your mind, your mental, your physical, spiritual, your being, period, will carry over to a great motivated Monday. It's your boy Talent. Till next week. Bang. Salute. Peace.